tonight wearing the orange armbands. Will Lamoureux and the veteran Dave Fuller working the lines. Ryan.
Thank you for the rundown, as always, Mr. Perry, and we are underway Friday night hockey at the Sleeman Center. Pleased you could join us here on Rogers TV and, of course, Flow Hockey, as the visiting Greyhounds looking to continue piling up the points as they make a run in this very tight Western Conference. They'll clear the zone here, go charging right in, as chasing this down is Quinn McKenzie, having a fantastic season down the wing for the Greyhounds so far. Cleared back, that's out of the zone, and that will draw Sault Ste. Marie back a little bit. And there is Lukasz Fischer, one of the big additions this team made. You want to talk about rock-solid defensemen and guys that you got to keep. Stillman's going to be rolling these lines.
And I'm being told that it's all injury cases except for Will McFadden, who is out with an illness.
Yeah, he's under the weather, which is unfortunate. What a season McFadden's been having, too. So not having him, and then you pile on top of that, still no Josh Avery, recent addition at the trade deadline. No McKenzie, no McFadden. I mean, it's an uphill battle for the Storm tonight. So let's see what they can bring to this great home crowd again here at the Sleeman Center. Cleared through, that gets through Shabinsky and will slide down the ice. Talk about an offensive contributor, Shabinsky. I mean, he has just been electric. What a find for this Storm team. He's having a fantastic rookie campaign. Singh knocking this off the boards. Finally gets out as it clatters off of the skate of Hopkins. But here come the Greyhounds again. Charging in here is Croskery, and that's played down low. Spada blowing a tire a little bit, and that allows it to come through, but he lays a hard hit there on Hayes. That gets cleared by the Storm, as neither team really grabbing a hold of this game early so far, Mark.
Yeah, very much a feeling out process here in the early going. A lot of pucks to the outside.
Control down low by the Greyhounds here. Good handles from Sharon. He still got it. Flicks it into the low slot, and the Greyhounds still have it here. Hit a bunch of bodies on the way in there, and they maintain possession. This will roll up the wall. Miedema pokes that through, gets it through on the second attempt, getting it forward. Hopkins trying to chase after that. Couldn't get there in time. This will get swung back. Good hold by Singh, who's got some room to walk in. He fires, but that hit Hopkins on the way, and the Greyhounds are able to chip it out. Babin back on it to get things moving out of the Guelph zone. Tried to find Serlin. Couldn't push it any further up ice. Babin will try it again. Played through the middle, and here comes Hopkins. Nice feed over for Serlin. Tries to give it back to him. Got it through on the second attempt, but Hopkins was already gone. Thrown toward the front, and that's picked up by Croskery. This will drift through the middle of the Greyhound zone. They've got it here, and there's Mignosa. Talk about a dangerous, crafty player. You got to keep an eye on him. He has mitts, and he's shown it off a number of times that we've seen him here at the Sleeman Center, Mark.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good game last night, a goal and 2 helpers against the Sting.
He is probably, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players offensively in this league. Like, he never gets brought up a lot. He is just consistently solid. Greyhounds working offensively here. Fisher way down deep, played up. Fired through traffic, big save, rebounds there, another rebound thrown through the slot. Good defensive sticks by the Storm to make sure that didn't get punched in, as Jovanovski doing good work.
Off here.
Greyhounds lining up for an offensive zone draw. The Storm win that cleanly. Not a big shock with Snellgrove in the dot, one of the best face-off men in the league this year. They're able to get it clear, but the Greyhounds have possession again right away. Whoa, that jumped up quick on Jeremy Martin. Might have caught him just under the chin. He looks to be no worse for wear, and the Greyhounds are right back in offensively. Knocked off the stick there in behind of McKenzie. Greyhounds still have it. Jumping on top of this and working in behind is Croskery. Back to the point. Greyhounds buzzing a little bit offensively, looking for an opening, and there's Mignosa shaking away from some defenders. Mignosa still with it and finally loses control, swept across the top of the crease. Luckily, no Greyhounds were there. Mignosa again trying to chip it out front. Spada cuts that off. He's got it here, and he'll use a high flip to get this down the ice. Does it have it? Was in a bit of disbelief there, so the Storm with a tired unit out there. They got to get this down the ice and get some fresh guys out there. Here's a good start to that effort as they'll push it up for Hapanenko, and he's able to wrestle it into the Greyhound zone, and they'll get some fresh skaters out there now. Turned over here. Gallagher with a lane. Gallagher walking in.
Hand out very nicely. You might want to start shooting low to get some rebounds and getting those purposeful shots in on the pads.
He might have the best glove hand in the country. I mean, find me someone better. When he's dialed in, he is as tough to beat as anybody in the Canadian Hockey League. Forget the OHL. Man, has he been special so far. Good hold in at the line there by Singh. Hapanenko trying to race over and hold it in. Unable to do so this time as Singh will reset in the neutral zone. Spada, quick up.
That team 20 minutes before puck drop at times. We'll see him around. You need to pick his brain. He's there.
He's one of the good guys in the game for sure. No icing here as Reed's got to chase this down. Snellgrove draped all over him, and Reed with a rare turnover right to the front. It's Beedham. Oh, what a good save there again by George. He is dialed in this first period, and he had to be off a very rare occurrence. You do not see Reed turn pucks over like that very often.
Not often.
Right for Miedema. Miedema and Beauchene have both had grade A scoring chances in this frame, and George has been there for both of them. This turned over at the red line, not able to be knocked in deep to Storm territory. Is now Serlin getting all tied up as he tries to knock this free, and instead it ends up behind Jovanovski's cage. Spada having to make a quick decision with it. Skates out the other side, played forward. They're onside. And whoa, blowing a wheel there, and a bunch of players come crashing together as I believe that was Pangretich who blew a tire there, and luckily everybody's okay as Jovanovski's out to handle the puck again. Spada, he's setting again from Storm territory. Under 4 to go in the first period.
Says, no, you know what? I'm going to try and score anyway, and ends up scoring just seconds later for the Storm to tie that game. So he's really starting to put his footprint on the ice surface when it comes to his offensive production.
Yeah, you can see the confidence that he's starting to gain in terms of joining the rush and getting involved in plays like that a little more often. And man, he's a big kid that's hard to knock off the puck. Outlet feed will not get through for Serlin. Pangretich makes a quick play over to his D partner, and that's going to get knocked into the Guelph zone as Fassard's got to do some defending. He was pursued by Jeremy Martin, and now a turnover as Martin's got a shot attempt here. And
ice level here as we get set for the second period. Word some.
Well, he managed to get out of the way pretty quickly,
yeah.
So always important to keep your eye on the puck. And speaking of keeping your eye on the puck, both goaltenders have certainly done that so far. Both were excellent in that opening frame. Carter George having to make a couple 10 bell saves, including one that will for sure be a candidate for save of the year. It'll make the end of the year highlight reel. That is for certain, as this puck thrown across just out of the reach of Hopkins. He's able to go rescue it along the boards. Now this turned over to Shabinsky. Play back, Singh firing, looking for that bang play back door. Hard shot there, well wide from Spada as a follow-up, and now trying to head down the ice, but leaving it just behind him was Jeremy Martin as the puck was bouncing on him and was not agreeable. This is going to be off Sapanenko, and he's able to get it in deep and get a change roll. Greyhounds swing this up the wall quickly, out of the reach of, thank you very much, Isaac. Yes, Chase Reed traveling all over the place. That sounds like a hockey player. He's a competitor. He's not going to miss a game for any reason. And good on him to get on the sheet for all of those contests as he continues to put together an unbelievable season, heading toward what should be a very early call of his name at the NHL draft in Buffalo. Storm buzzing offensively here, looking for the game's first goal. That gets fired by Singh. It gets blocked. Singh on it again in behind. Knocked away by the stick of George. He nearly inadvertently knocked that in behind him. Luckily, it hit the side of the net instead. McConnell Barker on it here, looking to get this out. Shabinsky says no, and Hopkins jumps on top of the loose biscuit. Loses it in his feet. Drifts back to the point for Singh. Back down the wall. Up top, Hopkins there. Played in for Spada. Rolled on him, and he couldn't get a shot away. Storm holding it again, but this time finally settled down by Fitzgerald and cleared up quickly. Charging in, fanning on that shot as his stick exploded on him. Brady Smith, and that sent Singh flying into the corner as Smith had that
win that game.
They sit 18th overall in power play percentage in the OHL, which is surprising given all the talent that they have. Just 17.3% so far this year with the man advantage, and they'll go to battle with the 5th-ranked penalty kill for the Storm at 82.7. Greyhounds on the man advantage here. Mignosa, swing it back. Fisher walking up top, played over. Fisher gets a return feed, fires, and that got deflected just wide. Storm trying to hold it along the wall. That was Spada. It will dribble free, and the Storm able to clear off the stick of Snellgrove, and that will chase Reed on the man advantage. Some chances there off some one-timer shots from Reed, but the Greyhounds unable to get anything going on this power play. 5 seconds left on it here, and they're not going to get anything out of it. Brassard able to launch that all the way down, and the Storm will survive the first minor penalty called in this game. Greyhounds coming right back in. That just missed Fitzgerald. If that landed for him, he had a clear lane to the net. So the Storm survived the power play and are back at 5-a-side as Jovanovski forced to play this puck, and he makes a good play on it too. Edema, he'll gain the line. Drop it back, find themselves trailing in this game with 8:30 and ticking left in the middle frame as the Greyhounds will grab the lead on the power play. Singh, quick up feed, Miedema trying to stop and start and lost control of the puck. He's got to chase it back. Spinning and looking for a lane. Miedema will skate it himself through the middle and gain the wing. Into the offensive zone, Miedema, nifty move to get in behind. Still Miedema with control. Trying to play that toward the front. George doing a good job to whack that away with his goalie stick. And this will be cleared as McKenzie will fire this in deep. Swung around, Singh on it first. He gets surrounded but makes a good play on it. High flipping backhand, landing in front of Shabinsky, and he'll leave it there for Singh, who drops it to Shabinsky. Caught him off guard a little bit, and the Greyhounds able to knock that free of the zone. Played up as Shabinsky will chase this in. Throw that to the front and find Snellgrove sneaking in behind, but it's cut off. Sent down the ice, Singh is there. Trying to escape the forecheck of Brown. Takes a good feed up to Hapanenko. Left for Snellgrove. Nice interchange with Serlin, who's got room. Serlin going in, and he challenged George on the short side. Big save. Whoa, hard hit there as Hapanenko sent his man hard into the wall and got some pushing and shoving thrown his way for good measure. Everybody's okay, luckily, as Hapanenko on it here in the neutrals.
Across Guelph Storm Media. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carmichael. Yes, be sure to catch our weekly pregame show, produced right here at Rogers TV, hosted by that gentleman down at Ice Level, Isaac Carmichael. Please, you can join us here on another Friday night for Rogers Hockey here at the Sleeman Center, across Rogers TV, and of course, Flow Hockey. I'm Ryan Drury alongside Mark Perry. Isaac Carmichael down there at Ice Level for us, and stick with us after the first break of the intermission. He will be chatting with Rowan Top of the Guelph Storm. Storm doing some defending here, trying to get back into this game that they trail 1-0, courtesy of a power play goal from Chase Reed for the Greyhounds. They're looking for more here as that didn't quite reach the net. Mignosa swing it back to the point, pumped right back down low. That comes through McKenzie. Jumping down low, keeping it alive. The Greyhounds digging away in the corner as Spada tried to kick that loose. Jeremy Martin trying to power his way to the front, and he got cut off on his journey toward the crease. Hard hit in behind the net as Spada knocked his man down hard. Back at the point, Evans swinging across. His pass goes a little errant, and that will chase Crossgreen back out of the zone. Greyhounds trying to get back over the blue line. They'll launch it in deep as Jovanovski comes out, tried to settle it there. Instead, Spada will just take it. Quick up feed, that gets through a bunch of skates. Take a penalty. Miedema looks back at the official. He can't believe it. I believe that was Mignosa who was back there and just gets it in his hands, and the officials are going to call that. I mean, I'd say they'd call that probably 95% of the time, Mark. So as much as the Storm don't like it.
Hey, 95% of the time, it's getting called every time.
Yes, sir. So the Greyhounds working on their third man advantage of this period and of this game. They've scored on one of them for this 1-0 lead. Played in for Reed, the man who did it. He pushes it over to the wall. Minyosa, it's in the feet of Singh as he tries to corral this. Up the wall, Hopkins trying to knock that through. He can't. Still loose there as it's battled away at in some feet. Finally Poole cued free, and McKenzie able to operate in behind the net of Jovanovski. Final minute of play here in the second period. Greyhounds looking to add to this lead. Played through, that will come back. Fisher will hold serve. Fired in there looking for the tip. That goes wide. McKenzie bump it back for Reed. Swung across quickly for Fisher. Reed back on it, thinking about it. Now he fires. That's tipped just wide. Minyosa right on the doorstep, but it's wide. Fisher. McKenzie thinking about it. Won't fire. Fisher. He will fire, and that's wide. 20 seconds left here in the period. Storm under siege. Reed getting away from a defender. Up top at the circle, played back up high for Fisher, back to Reed, thrown to the front as they were looking for the backdoor play for McKenzie. It's deflected wide. Last couple seconds ticking away here, thrown toward the front, kicked away by Spada.
London with a 3-1 lead on the Sarnia Sting, and it's 1-1 Brampton and Kingston. By the way, in that one, also Storm watch Alex McLean with a helper for the Kingston Frontenacs. Ryan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Perry, as we're back underway. High heater there from Reed, trying to add to his goal total tonight. He's got the only marker of the game as the last 19 seconds of power play carryover for the Greyhounds have expired. Miedema is back out there, and we're back to 5-a-side as the Storm look to try and get this game tied. They're very much in this game. They're a shot away right now, and here comes Miedema, fresh out of the box with a 2-on-1 developing. Miedema walking in. Miedema to Hopkins, scores! 1T Hoppy, and we are Greyhounds. They've had 3 power play opportunities. They scored their goal on the second one. The Storm have yet to enjoy a power play this evening. But despite that, these teams deadlocked at one. The shots are tight. The scoreboard is tight. It has been a very, very spirited contest here at the Sleeman Center as the Greyhounds, George nearly bobbling that puck, made a good play on it eventually, and the Greyhounds are away. Charging in here is Martin. Jeremy Martin right to the front. And Martin, man, he has been really impressive tonight with his speed, creating mismatches. I know everybody in the Soo is missing the contributions from the veteran forward and the veteran of over 300 games, showing his experience there. Quick up feed finds Wysick. Over the line, stops up, throws it toward the front looking for a big hop, but George smartly plays that away with his stick. Greyhounds back in, Martin on it again. He's involved in the corner. Singh sees it laying there, he'll swing it around. This will reach the point, but Reed is there to hold it in. Minyosa cutting into the middle, that hit his own man in front. Believe that hit the back of the leg of McKenzie, and that ends up getting the puck out as both teams get some fresh troops out. You can see the Singh has coming off that great Connor McDavid top prospects game performance. He's had a really, really good stick all over the ice tonight so far. Doing it again as he bats this down, but it had a little too much on it. Note they're going to wave it off. Initially signaled for icing, they wave it off. We play on. Greyhounds having to look for a clearance here. They find it, and this will land as jumping up into the play is Brady Smith. Dropped back, swung in around as the Greyhounds go to work looking to try and get their lead back. Jumping in is McConnell Barker. Comes through him. It's back at the point. Walking in is Andrew, fired. And that was blockered aside nicely by Jovanovski. Boy, both goaltenders have been sensational in this contest so far. That gets fired off the stick of Miedema. It was blocked by
inside the line, but just the way he's able to find that space and just space out the Guelph offensive players was a really good job on it on that latest play.
He's got a high-power processor upstairs, man. Let me tell you, he makes good decisions and he makes them quick. Jovanovski with a swing through for Singh. Bouncing a little bit here on the clearing attempt for Babin as he continues to battle and is able to get it back out over the line. That allows Singh to reset for Spada. Quick up feed. They were trying to find Babin coming right down.
Confidence has allowed them to increase their presence and their ability on the ice. Grant Spada is another great example of that.
Fisher on it here. Spada, he's become such a reliable defensive presence back there for Corey Stillman. Miedema trying to golf that forward. He's going to get another attempt at it. Nifty little move to settle the puck down. Can't dance his way through the 4 defensive sticks of the Greyhounds, and they'll take over. Jumping in on this, Mignosa gets it over the line. Swung back to the point, and that'll be picked off. Hopkins there, and all he can do is just swing it into the offense. Over the line, battled away in some feet, landing here for Hapanenko. He fires as he challenged George on the glove side, and the Sioux netminder makes another sharp stop with the glove. Quick up feed, that's turned over though, and here comes McConnell Barker into the frame. McConnell Barker fires, and that gets pushed up high over the net. Might have caught a little piece of the blocker of Jovanovski. McConnell Barker back at the red line. He'll pump it in. Jovanovski there to swing it through. Cut off nicely there. Now Louse with a chance to throw it to the front. And Singh cut that off, and here go the Storm. Hapanenko ladles this forward for Snell. I've been wrong before, and darn it, Mark, I'll be wrong again.
Hey, the first step is admitting that you're wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
Here come the Storm, looking to try and grab the lead for the first time tonight. I'll knot it up with one with the visitors here from the Greyhounds. Despite the low score, it's been a heck of a hockey game here as Miedema peels back. He created the Guelph goal with a beautiful feed on the one-timer from Hopkins. On the other side, it was Reed on the power play with an unbelievable release. Kicked forward by Jeremy Martin, batted away by the good defensive stick again by Rylan Singh. He has been dialed in today. Battle for it in the neutral zone here. It'll get rifled in deep. Too hot for Jovanovski to come out and cut off, but Miedema's there as he'll play it in behind the feet of the official there, but luckily there were no Greyhounds in the zone, so no harm, no foul. Just over 9 minutes left here in regular. Fisher defensively. Swung across for Reed. Quick up play finds McKenzie. Here come the Greyhounds again. Martin back on it. He gets swallowed up quickly, but makes a good spin move to try and force that puck up the wall, waiting for reinforcements, and he has them. Played into the middle. Evans, big blocker stop by Jovanovski. That might have been his finest of the night so far. Remember that one. That's a big stop by Jovanovski. Oh, they were trying to hit Hopkins on a home run feed. Both teams continuing to try and stretch the ice at times, and it's not really working.
Deflect that one into the corner.
These two goaltenders going toe-to-toe. They have been the story tonight. George on one end. That glove save he made on Beauchene back in the first period, you're going to find that on highlight reels everywhere. Jovanovski at the home end. Just stout, standing his ground and making a brilliant blocker save. Chance here for the Storm as that's fired. Hit a bunch of traffic on the way as Wysick tried to pump that through a bunch of feet. Singh gets this in deep. Hopkins trying to chase after it. Pangretich gets there first. Up the wall, Singh trying to hold it in. Can't, as he was trying to get it through the body of Louse, who was able to get it free over the last couple of seasons, particularly in this building. Serlin down low. Good defending here as jumping on the forechecker there was Callum Croskery. He's had a good night defensively, big number 14 in red and white. Down the ice, Sharon. Or Brown. Bounced on him a little bit. Singh trying to wrestle that from him, and he eventually does. Swung back here for Spada. Looking for an exit. Finds Singh. He's got room down the wing. Here comes Singh. Just left the puck behind. It rolled away from him. Storm have got to get back in good position here as through the neutral zone. Hard contact there as Croskery got...
Is that there might be somebody going into the slot, and even if there isn't, that's just a good heads-up play. Just put it into a danger area, see what happens. Well, Jeremy Martin is right there, right on the spot to make it 2-1.
When you said it, Mark, it is a breakdown because when it got played in back to Martin, there was no Storm player near him. And I'm sure Corey Stillman will not be very happy with that late breakdown here on home ice. And now his team is in a bit of a pickle. Gallagher hammered, and the Storm fans want a call. They're not going to get one. Breakaway feed there, just missing Sharon. He's on it anyway with a one-timer. Turned aside by Jovanovski. Fans a little restless here at the Sleeman Center because their team had a nice move to cut through. He'll gain the line. There goes Jovanovski. But Fisher's got the puck. Fisher played forward. The Storm have got to hold this in. They can't. It's drifting along the blue line. Yawning cage. It'll be played in deep. Sharon's going to get there first. Singh makes a good play on him. Storm have got to hurry. It's the final minute. Played back for Singh. Storm have got to get some late magic going here. Can't play that around as Miedema gets hammered hard. And the Storm are fuming that that wasn't a penalty. And now we'll get some late pushing.